Wait! Stop the pour. I won't drink a single drop until we figure out what a breakfast blend actually is.
Breakfast blends. Why are we talking about breakfast blends today? I think it was your idea.
It was. Yeah, it is. And I had in mind the fact that breakfast blend is a common term, one of the few common terms for a style of coffee that people can usually rely on. In other words, a breakfast blend in the United States, at any rate, is usually fairly sweet, not dark roasted, light roasted, a little bit of what we call acidity, sweet tartness in it. And I think with the coffee prices rising again, about 4 times as much per pound, the green coffee prices, as a few months ago, it'd be interested to see what the roasters are doing with these breakfast blends, whether the quality is staying good. And it's just a kind of a archaeology of taste exercise, Kevin. You know, it's a standard kind of choice. Consumers, I think, expect a certain style of cup, and we can taste it and see whether that style has changed for whatever reasons, for reasons of taste or reasons of coffee price, and just talk about coffee blends. I mean, it's a reliable go-to choice on particularly in supermarket shelves, but also on some websites.
I can tell you what I've heard about breakfast blends, because I have an opinion on this, and I have some relationships with roasters who've told me over the years how they view breakfast blends. Breakfast blends are a great way for them to put coffees together that otherwise don't have so much name recognition, and sometimes highlight coffees that don't get as much love maybe as they should. It's also a way to balance between some older coffees that are maybe getting more mellow but don't have quite the brightness any longer, and coffees that are new that are maybe overly bright but haven't quite gotten to their peak yet. Aren't they all based originally on the Mocha Java? We recently did Mocha Java. The idea of putting 2 coffees together to kind of balance each other out.
If you're just talking about the idea of blends, yeah. But I think those are good points. And I think the paranoid view of breakfast blends among coffee aficionados, of course, is that, yeah, they're kind of getting rid of old coffees in them. I will find out, I guess. We won't find out for sure, but we can suspect things based on our tasting. I will say about breakfast blends, it's a kind of concept that allows for flexibility, as you say, for the roaster. If roasters have a signature blend with a protected name, they really want to try to get a consistency in that blend. In breakfast blend, it is a type, a style of coffee, but I think they have a lot more flexibility, so you're right. I'm curious whether there's more Brazils in these than I used to remember from the old days when there were a lot of Central Americas.
One more thing I would say about breakfast blends, I think this is one coffee that I think, without doubt, always needs to stand up to cream for consumers. Because I know a number of people who drink black coffee every other moment of their life, but when it comes to breakfast, their first cup of the day, I always see them asking for cream.
We'll see what people get with breakfast blends anyhow. Maybe we can start a mini trend.
I will say, in scouting around, I did find roasters that did not offer a breakfast blend, but many did. I'm hoping you'll find it at least interesting, the feedback I got and what little information they would tell me about the coffees.
One last thing is that it's a pretty old-fashioned kind of concept. It doesn't really fit the so-called third wave of high-end roasters. They may have a coffee that's in the style of breakfast blend, but I'm sure they have a fancier and snappier name for it. I'm ready to start these suckers. I'm needy for my breakfast blend.
Well, here we go. All right, let's bring out coffee number 1 then, or A. Sorry, A. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more shows like this.